Einen wunderschönen guten Tag, liebe Freunde. Da verschwindet auch die Katze sofort. Bei Hooked. Mein Name ist Robin Schweiger. Ihr seht mich alleine hier. Tom musste leider spontan aussetzen. Das ist aber gar nicht schlimm, weil wir werden uns alleine durch die Gegend hypen in neue Stratosphären mit Gameplay-Trailern. Wirklich, ich habe exklusiv herausgefunden, liebe Freunde, dass wir heute etwa 4,5 Stunden nur Gameplay sehen werden. Nichts als Gameplay. Ich verspreche euch an dieser Stelle, es gibt ausschließlich Gameplay. Ich weiß noch nicht von welchen Spielen. Ich weiß noch nicht, ob das vorgerendertes Gameplay ist oder sogenanntes CG-Gameplay. Das könnte auch sein. Vielleicht ist es auch ein sogenannter Film und man sieht Gameplay aus diesem Film. Man muss das sehen, aber ich bin sehr excited. Ich habe gar keine Ahnung, was es sein könnte. Es wurde gerade die Mafia-Trilogie angekündigt. Ihr könnt übrigens gerade keine Musik im Hintergrund hören. Das habe ich hier gemutet, weil das lizenzierter Kram ist. Final Countdown und so. Gleich mache ich die Musik an. Nicht wundern, dass das gerade ein bisschen still ist. Und das wird eine einzelne Ankündigung, so bald, so viel wir zumindest wissen, mit einem anschließenden Interview mit Geoff Keighley, so wie halt auch gestern bei Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 und 2. Gerade eben wurde die Mafia-Trilogie angekündigt, was für mich sehr exciting ist, weil es Mafia 1 enthält und ich sehr gespannt bin, wie Mafia 1 im Jahre 2020 veröffentlicht wird, ob es einfach nur ein Port ist der PC-Version auf der Xbox One und PS4 und halt jetzt auf Steam dann, oder ob das wirklich ein Remake ist mit Änderungen, keine Ahnung, bin ich gespannt. Also das könnte es sein, vielleicht gibt's Mafia, könnte aber auch alles andere sein. Ich habe jetzt keine riesige Erwartungen, solltet ihr, glaube ich, auch nicht haben. Lasst euch halt überraschen, wenn es was Cooles ist, freuen wir uns gemeinsam und wenn nicht, ist auch okay. Ihr müsst mir gleich mal sagen, wenn ich die Musik ein bisschen lauter mache, ob die so, oder wenn ich den Stream mache, ob der so okay ist oder laut oder leise. Das kann ich hier alles dann ändern. Ich hoffe, jetzt gerade ist erstmal alles okay. Und ich hoffe, euch geht's gut, Freunde. Es wird ja des Öfteren jetzt mal so Streams geben, weil es ja viele kleine Ankündigungen geben wird. State of Play wurde bereits angekündigt für morgen. Ubisoft-Ding wurde für Juli angekündigt. Alles sehr aufregend. Ist das unten links Gameplay? Ich bin Gameplay, ja, korrekt. Man hat bereits, also ich wurde bereits bespielt von Leuten, das kann ich bestätigen. 10 Sekunden. Geoff Keighley ist schon mal ein Daumen hoch dafür, dass du Final Countdown im Hintergrund laufen hast, wenn literally der Countdown zu Ende läuft. So, machen wir mal Ton an und ihr sagt mir, oh jeez, ich glaube, das war sehr laut. Müssen wir mal sagen, ob das so okay ist oder ob es leiser oder lauter sollte. Passt. Sehr gut.
Hello, I'm Brian Karras,
okay.
Technical Director of Graphics here at Epic Games.
Hi, I'm Jerome Plateau, Art Director of the Special Project.
A few years ago, we got together as a team and brainstormed where we thought we could push forward the state-of-the-art in real-time graphics.
Ooh.
There were two key areas that stood out.
Ooh.
The first, dynamic global illumination. Beautiful bounce lighting,
Okay.
instantaneous.
Hast mal lauter gemacht.
I don't have to be constrained to do a game where the world has to be static, and I'm able to iterate a lot faster.
And we call this new system Lumen. And we're about to show you what it is capable of. But first, there was another area that we thought we could push forward. Truly virtualized geometry. The artist wouldn't have to be concerned over poly counts, draw calls, or memory. Could directly use film quality assets and bring them straight into the engine.
And that's
Hoffe,
a
ihr könnt
big
jetzt
deal
gut
for
hören.
artists. I just want to be able to import my ZBrush model, my photogrammetry scan, my CAD data without wasting any time optimizing.
Okay, anscheinend geht es tatsächlich um eine technische Sache zur Unreal Engine, gar kein neues Spiel.
Art that just works. And we call this new technology Nanite. Here is the future of Unreal Engine running live on a PlayStation 5.
Oh shit.
Awesome. Let's take a look at it.
Oh, that's exciting.
This has to be the right way.
Ich mach mal kurz die Qualität ein bisschen hoch bei mir. Es wird kurz rausgehen. So. Also das ist jetzt kein Spiel. Also zumindest Stand jetzt ist das kein konkretes Spiel, was sie ankündigen, sondern eine Tech-Demo. Vielleicht sagen sie gleich noch, dass das...
Much of what you see was built with Quixel Megascan assets. but instead of using the game versions, we use the cinematic versions, which would typically only be used in film.
Und
There are around 1 million
das wirkt jetzt auf mich auch nicht
triangles each. And thanks
unglaubwürdig,
to virtual texturing, they all use
dass Spiele so
8K
aussehen.
textures as
Ich
well.
meine, guckt euch sowas wie
Nanite
Last
can
of Us
render
2
an
an, das ist jetzt
insane
auch nicht
number of
ewig weit davon
triangles very
entfernt.
quickly. There are over a
Das ist
billion
für
triangles of
Next-Gen
source
schon
geometry
sehr
in each frame
möglich.
that Nanite crunches down losslessly to around 20 million drawn triangles.
Guck mal, 20 Millionen
What does that
Trillion
many triangles
Triangles?
look like?
I don't know.
This isn't noise. These are the triangles, each a different color. Most are so small that they look like noise. Nanite achieves detail down to the pixel, which means triangles are often the size of pixels. This amount of geometric detail requires shadows to be pixel accurate as well, and Nanite can do that too. Speaking of lighting, all of the lighting in this demo is completely dynamic, with the power of Lumen that even includes multi-bounce global illumination. No light maps, no baking here. Without GI, all of that beautiful lighting is gone. With Lumen enabled, we can move the light and the bounce changes instantly.
Ja, schon geil.
Okay, let's keep going. We've made some great additions to our audio system as well. Convolution reverb allows us to measure reverberation characteristics of real spaces, like actual caves that we sampled, and reproduce them in virtual spaces. Sound field rendering allows us to record
Irgendjemand
and
bei
playback
Epic hat literally
spatialized audio.
2 Wochen in der Höhle gecampt, um aufzunehmen, wie die Höhle sich anhört.
All of this adds up to a more immersive experience.
Well, yep, that's... Ey, sowas wollte ich eigentlich in dieser Konsolengeneration nicht mehr sehen. Charaktere, die sich durch enge Dinge schleichen. Never. Das sieht voll aus wie ein
This
Sequel
form
zu
of
Fallen
bats
Order,
was
finde ich die
created
ganze
with our
Zeit.
Niagara effects system. Particles in Niagara can now talk to one another and understand their environment like never before. We've also added a ton of new functionality to run fluid simulations like you see in the water below.
Auch in der neuen Engine werden erkletterbare Wände noch deutlich bunt angemalt werden müssen, mit Strichen, die dir anzeigen, welche Richtung du klettern
Here we are
kannst.
using it to accurately simulate the rigid bodies of the falling rocks and the cloth of her scarf. Now that the environment is so complex, we've needed to greatly improve our animation systems to adapt. We've added predictive foot placement and motion warping, which dynamically modifies IK and body position to look more natural. For the character to more realistically interact with the environment, we've added the ability to
Gutes
trigger
dynamisches
seamless
Foot Placing ist ja auch in
contextual
Restaurants sehr
animation
wichtig,
events, like
damit die
her hand on the
richtigen
floor.
Leute die richtigen Menüs bekommen.
Dynamic GI is amazing, not just for speeding up iteration, but also for its impact on gameplay. Any light source can move while still having beautiful bounce lighting. Dynamic illumination means specular as well, which you can see on all the metal surfaces. You can even see the Niagara-powered bugs reacting to the light.
Ist das die
Lumen not only
Untitled 4?
reacts
Weil
to
das sind
moving
4,
light
wo die
sources, but
Käfer
also
waren, die man
changes
mit
in
Licht
geometry.
wegdrücken muss. Könnt ihr den gut hören, wenn er redet? Könnt ihr ihn verstehen? Und mich auch, wenn ich drüber
Remember
rede?
we mentioned high
Geh mal
poly
davon aus.
assets? This statue was imported directly from ZBrush and is more than 33 million triangles. No baking of normal maps, no
Das
authored
ist so ein
LODs.
Schwachsinn. Guck mal, das Ding ist rund. Auf der Rüstung waren ganz viele Vierecke. Da erkenne ich doch sofort wieder,
And we can do more than a single
dass das
statue.
nicht alles Dreiecke
There
waren.
are nearly 500
Da
of
rechts,
that
guck mal, da sind
exact
so
statue
squiggly
at the
lines.
same detail level placed in this room for a total of over 16 billion triangles from statues alone.
Also Stand jetzt ist das kein Spiel, sondern eine
Over
Tech-Demo.
this entire demo,
Aber es
there
könnte
are
sein, dass sie am Ende
hundreds
sagen, aha,
of
warte mal, das
billions
ist
of
doch
triangles.
Uncharted Fallen Order 3 möglich. Weil es ist schon sehr faszinierend, wie es... Also, es sieht wirklich aus wie so eine Ansammlung von PS4, Xbox One Generation Action Adventure spielen. Das ist so das PS4, Xbox One Game, was ich hier sehe.
And with Lumen, you have fully dynamic lighting and global illumination, all running on a PlayStation 5.
Und ja, ne, das erwähnt gerade Mark Reiner, das erwähnt Mr. Gesellenstück gerade richtigerweise. Es ist in sehr komprimierter Form auf YouTube gerade. Und dann streame ich es ja auch noch weiter an euch, wo es nochmal komprimiert wird. Also, das sieht dann in 4K, wenn man sich die Datei runterlädt, nochmal deutlich besser aus, garantiert. Und das sieht dann einfach unglaublich aus. Also,
Don't fail me now.
we are Anthem now. Gleich doch. Jesus. Ja, that's awesome. Wir müssen Gänsehaut bekommen, das war amazing. Gott, dieses Charaktermodell ist nicht schön, finde ich. Diese Augen sind zu groß.
It's time to see what's next.
Oh, is it a game? Ach nee, Unreal Engine 5. Das ist krass. Neue Unreal Engine. Ist auch ein bisschen weird, so eine neue Engine.
There you go.
mit so
The
einem Ding
Unreal
anzukündigen.
Engine 5 is real, and
That's
that
weird.
was the first real-time footage of something running on the PlayStation 5 as well. Such a amazing day, I think, for gamers to get a glimpse at where
Gamers
games are
rise
going
up.
next. And now it's my honor to be joined by three guys from Epic to talk a little bit about today's announcement. Of course, we've
Ich habe
got
wirklich
Tim
kurz
Sweeney,
gedacht, Epic
Kim
Games
LeBerry, and
würde
Nick and Warden. Guys,
ein richtig
thanks for
großes
joining me here
Singleplayer-Spiel
virtually.
machen
This
in
is
Zeiten von Fortnite.
a really big and exciting day. I mean, I think I'm just
Manches
was
nur
so
das
blown
Spiel
away
immer
when I
deutlich
saw
lauter
this
als der
footage
Trailer
about
gerade.
what UE5 can do. And Tim, this is, I know, a special moment for you to have, put a 5 on this Unreal Engine. I remember the first time you showed me the original Unreal Engine. I think it was like 1996 at E3. At
So,
a
ich
Marriott
habe den
Marina
guten
Del Rey,
Jeff mal ein
and
bisschen leiser
I was
gemacht.
looking back
Ich
last
hoffe,
night at like the old
so ist ein
Next-Gen-Ankündigung
bisschen besser.
magazine cover with like, can you believe this is what a PC screenshot of the original Unreal Engine? How far we've come. Tell me, I mean, this
Ey,
is a
Tim
big moment
Sweeney
for Epic, but
besitzt literally
what does this mean to sort
ein
of the company
Fünftel
right now
des
to be able
weltweiten
to,
Geldes.
debut the first PlayStation 5 footage, but
Warum
also,
hat dieser Mann eine
introduce,
Kamera, die eine
new
schlechtere Auflösung
numbered version of
produzieren
Unreal?
kann als die Xbox One
Well,
Original?
this really is a
Also,
generational
Leute,
leap or more
Tim,
in,
bitte.
technological capabilities. And
Look at this.
the
What
hardware that
the
Sony
fuck is he doing?
launching is
Warum
absolutely
steht da so ein Ding
phenomenal.
hinter ihm?
Not only an unprecedented amount of graphics
Timothy,
power, but
what's
also
going on?
a completely new storage architecture that blows past architectures out of the water, and it's far ahead of even the state of the art and the highest end PCs you can buy. And so, with Unreal Engine 5, we set out to build a new generation of technology that empowers creators to create photorealistic scenes that are indistinguishable from reality.
Jesus Christ, das macht mich so
And
wütend.
to do so with a very high degree of productivity, right? I mean, there are two problems in game development.
Kann
right?
irgendjemand
One is,
schnell irgendein Spiel entwickeln und das exklusiv bei Epic sein, damit die Geld bekommen und man das für eine Kamera ausgeben kann? Das ist ja
Just
unerträglich.
the cost and time it takes for an artist to create a major new piece of content for a next generation game. And so Unreal Engine 5 attacks both of those problems. We have the nanite system for virtual geometry, enabling sub-pixel geometry, which is imperceptibly different from the full high-quality assets, so the movie-quality assets that were originally scanned. Also, the Lumen, the real-time global illumination system, not only to bring unprecedented quality and lighting to the environments, but also to free artists from having to worry about the details.
Wenn ich bei so einem Spiel
lighting
schärfer
your
dargestellt wird,
levels,
ist der echte Mensch. Ist wirklich
make
so.
all these trade-offs in static lighting versus dynamic lighting. And so we're really trying to empower developers here and to enable developers to create a new generation of experiences that are both unbelievably realistic, but also economical and practical for them to create without having to have a 1,000-person team.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at that footage, in 4K, I mean, just the level of detail is absolutely
Ich habe ein bisschen
stunning.
schlechtes Gewissen, ne? Dass hier hinten man
maybe
die
you could break down a
Fenster
little bit
klein
of this,
sieht, die dann so
visually
überblenden.
what's
Literally der
happening
Duke
that
da
makes
vorne
it,
rechts, das ist ein
so
ganzes Ding.
incredible, 'cause I know
Ich
you've got
sitze
a
vor dem
couple of new
Fenster.
systems that you're really proud
Das ist
of.
einfach die
Maybe
fucking
talk about
Atomexplosion
Nanite
in
and
die
what that is and
Kamera
how it works and how it's going to
strahlt.
kind of shape games moving forward.
Okay, so Nanite is a new geometry system for Unreal Engine that lets us get down to almost sub-pixel levels of detail on the screen. You know, it's possible because we have a new generation of hardware that really allows us to put loads and loads of triangles at the screen. And we
Oh,
thought
hat,
that we'd
wenn ihr
come
oben
up with
rechts
a
im
new
Bild
technique
guckt,
that
mehrere Bilder
allowed
seines
us
Hundes.
to be able to create
Das gefällt mir
content in a
gut.
similar way to the way that they do
Einmal hier sogar
movies today.
eine Frau mit
So in
einem
fact, when
Hund.
you look at that demo, all them assets, Nana is basically ingesting all the movie quality
Ist
assets
dies Montana Black?
to make that scene. And the artist doesn't even have to think about it.
Ich
They can
kenne
use
mich nicht so
rocks
aus.
and,
Ist das Montana Black zufällig?
statues wherever they want in the scene and not have to worry about triangle costs anymore. Lumen, the global illumination system that Tim mentioned, that just produces incredibly realistic and accurate bounce lighting. So wherever you place a light in the scene, its effect on the whole world is seen instantly by just moving things around. It's amazing.
Yeah, when I saw that demo, I was just
Das sind
blown away
Beispielbilder, die
by
waren schon im
the
Rahmen.
visual fidelity. And
Das hört
also,
sich
I
nach
think
etwas
how
an, was
much
ein Milliardär
felt,
tun würde.
at least to me as an end user, how much felt that so much of the environment was streaming in real time in so much detail, especially that sequence where she's flying through the environment. Mark Cerny has talked a lot about PlayStation 5 and the incredible bandwidth it's going to have to move data from the SSD right onto screen. Nick, can you maybe talk a bit
Interessante
about
News aus
how
meinem
that's
Leben. Ich habe mir
sort of
gerade eine 400
manifesting
Gigabyte
itself in this
Nintendo
demo?
Switch
I assume
SD-Karte
some of,
bestellt.
those improvements in PS5 are enabling
Ich
types
muss
of things
Platz
that
für die
just
nächsten
weren't possible in previous
Picross-Spiele
generations.
machen, Freunde.
Yeah, so Nanite enabled the artist to build a scene with
Bei euch so?
geometric complexity that would have been impossible before. There are tens of billions of triangles in that scene, and we simply couldn't have them all in memory at once. And so what we end up needing to do is streaming in triangles as the camera is moving throughout the
Ist der
environment.
Nick 20 oder
And the IO
60 Jahre alt?
of PlayStation 5 are one of the key hardware features that enable us to achieve that level of realism.
Yeah, no, it's stunning to see that, and I think also the global illumination. I think people have heard that concept before, but now really manifesting sort of in real time in that environment with the flashlight or some of the other lighting scenes. Can you guys maybe break down sort of from the gamer perspective, like how games are going to change because of the full global illumination?
Well, first of all,
Cone.
this enables a much wider variety of games to have very realistic responses to light. Everything from large-scale open-world types of games, with day-night cycles, being seamless transitions from indoor to outdoor.
Der hat einen Cone an, weil sich dieser dumme Kater seit Monaten das Fell vom Körper leckt. Dann irgendwann entstanden an vielen Stellen so Entzündungen auf der Haut, die er dann sich wiederum blutig geleckt hat, die dann sich nicht mehr heilen konnten, die dann immer blutiger wurden. Und er ist einfach so gestresst, also ich weiß nicht, ob gestresst das richtige Wort ist, das ist einfach so ein richtig stressiger Kater. Der braucht aber so, okay, was mache ich jetzt? Ich habe gerade nichts zu tun. Okay, dann lecke ich mich jetzt kurz tot. Und wir haben dem jetzt, wir sind da seit Ewigkeiten dran und jetzt hat er eine Spritze bekommen und muss jetzt eine Woche lang den Cone tragen und hoffentlich
The
funktioniert
battle
es ein
royale
bisschen
genre
besser.
didn't even take off until the current generation, where you finally had enough computing and graphics power to enable a 100-player game, with very, very high fidelity encounters. This new generation of technology that we're building with Unreal Engine 5 and that Sony's empowering with PlayStation 5 will enable entirely new types of game experiences that we can't even anticipate yet.
Yeah, there's been a lot of talk over the past couple weeks.
Clearly you cannot, weil diese Gaming Experience, die ihr gerade gezeigt habt, war literally das am wenigsten neue, was ich je gesehen habe. Oh, da war Werbung.
Is the first kind of real-time example of something that really grabs me. And I just want to confirm, like, what we're seeing there, that's all, like, you can actually play that with a controller? Like that's not kind of frame dumped or anything. That's actually playable.
It's a fully playable demo, and
Wow.
we plugged in a recorder into the back of a PlayStation 5 dev kit and recorded the signal that came out over HDMI. So it's a totally live demo, and it's replayable, and it's a little bit different every time you play it.
Wow. No, because I mean that flight sequence, everything. That's what's so exciting to me is like this is real time footage. So what do you guys think? I mean, when people say like what is the leap of this generation going to be to sort of previous generations from like PlayStation 3 to 4 or whatnot? Is it any different this time? Is it going to be greater, less, or we don't know yet?
I think the sense of immersion, one of the great things about playing games is you can transport it to places that you could never go in the normal world. This level of lighting and detail really gets you to a point where you're feeling like you're inside a movie set. Things are so realistic, and it's gonna aid the storytelling.
Das war nicht die Frage.
Immersion.
Die Frage war, ob der Schritt größer oder kleiner oder genauso groß ist.
Will be much deeper than you've ever seen before.
Please, answer the question.
And the ability of the hardware and the engine to stream in massive amounts of content as you're going through a huge environment, I think that's going to have a much bigger impact on gaming than people are expecting right now. Until this next generation of hardware, previous generation console games had to be built.
Jesus Christ, was geht eigentlich auf dem Schreibtisch da hinten?
Spinning mechanical
Beim
device,
Timothy.
right? It has its roots in the 1950s.
Ist es eine Blumenlampe oder ist es eine Blumenkerze, ein Ständer, wo Kerzen drauf sind? Und dann eine leere Vase dahinter? Und alles voller Ordner.
The best on any platform, better than high-end PC. I think this is going to enable the types of immersion that we only could have dreamed of in the past.
Oh, Dopsy, Fun Fact da. Ich habe mir der PS2-Emulator hat ein Update bekommen vor ein paar Tagen und dann habe ich Soul River 2 auf dem Emulator mal angeworfen, habe das dann eine Dreiviertelstunde nur gespielt. Dann ist es abgestürzt da wegen einem Problem, der da viel ist, also kann man es auch nicht spielen. Und jetzt habe ich mir die PS2-Version einfach bestellt. Also mal gucken, ob wir es einfach auf der PS2 dann mal spielen.
Incredible what I think this is going to enable. We've talked a lot about PS5. We know obviously Unreal Engine runs kind of across all platforms, including mobile and PC and Xbox, of course. What's your take on like what you're showing here? How is that going to scale to other systems? Like this demo we're seeing, is that will that run on the Xbox Series X? Will it run on PC? How will it be different? Can you guys give us some context on that?
Well, I mean, Unreal Engine 5 is going to run across all of our supported platforms. Next generation console, current generation consoles, as well as mobile devices. One of the key features that we've been working on is being able to build content once and deploy it across devices. So on higher end hardware where we can support Nanite directly, we'll be able to render scenes at the fidelity that you just saw, like on PlayStation 5. For, say, an Android or iOS mobile device.
Warum antworten Sie keine? Ich verstehe nicht, warum Sie die Frage eigentlich nicht beantworten. Die sind doch keine Mitarbeiter von Sony oder von Microsoft. Die können das doch ehrlich beantworten. Ich gebe euch noch ein bisschen Cats. Oh, he moves.
Tim, do you have a sense between like sort of all the like Xbox, PlayStation, all these other systems, like sort of they've made somewhat different choices, also some similar ones, obviously with SSDs in both. Do you have a sense of how they're going to sort of compare in terms of power, or how you look at sort of like the overall landscape?
Well, we love all of our babies, and we can't make comparisons or pick favorites. But the Nanite technology we showed here. It's going to run across all next-generation consoles and high-end PC. And most importantly, this is what's possible in the absolute best hardware that's going to exist at the end of the year. But these experiences you build, we will help developers scale down to every device that exists in the world. And we really hope to empower all developers to do what we've done with Fortnite in this generation, which is build absolutely no sacrifices, high-end console game, and then bring it to every device, including scaling it down to iOS and Android devices from years ago, so that we can reach a much larger audience of gamers than just the hardcore some 200 million console players in the world.
So Kim, I know a lot of gamers around the world watched that footage and said, wow, I want to play that.
Ich mag nicht, wie Jeff mich ganz ein Gamer nennt. Nicht wahnsinnig frech.
Not a game, it's a demo. how their games are going to feel different in the next generation. And one of the things that I really took away from it was that flight sequence at the end, which was just incredible, and with the sort of the rubble coming down and things moving. Could you maybe talk about sort of how the game experience might change with UE5? Sure, it's going to look visually more beautiful, but how is it going to play different?
Not at all.
So traditionally on this current generation, if you wanted to make a photorealistic environment, the way that people do that is they bake lighting into the environment. The problem with that means the environment is not dynamic. You can't move things around.
Ey, ich verstehe diese ganzen Konsolen-Reveal nicht, ne? Die ganze Next-Gen-Reveal. Also wir hatten jetzt eine... Wir haben einen coolen, vermutlich In-Engine-Trailer, weiß ich nicht, gesehen. Ich hab's noch ein bisschen leiser, das ist einfach so. Einen guten In-Engine-Trailer von Hellblade 2 gesehen. Ich vermute mal, das war In-Engine. Und ansonsten nichts. Und dann hatten wir einen Xbox-Event, wo es ganz viele Third-Party-Spiele gibt, die ich super interessant und cool fand, die aber überhaupt gar nichts von der nächsten Konsolengeneration wirklich von Relevanz gezeigt haben. Und dann hast du gestern Reveal, und das ist ein Remaster von Tony Hawk's 1 und 2, cool für Xbox One und PS4. Und dann hast du jetzt ein Event, und das ist ein Engine-Ding für kein Spiel, was einfach nur Engine ist. What's happening? Warum weiß denn niemand mehr, wie man coole Reveals macht?
Yes,
Jesus
and
Christ.
even effects like when we open that big dome where all the statues are, the light just floods in and bounces all over the place. You really, the way you would have had to do that in the past is you would have to cheat.
Morgen ist Sony, ja, aber das ist dann ja Ghost of Tsushima, das ist auch nicht Next-Gen, das ist halt für Ghost of Tsushima, keine Ahnung, wie man das ausspricht.
Then they're going to have an effect on the whole world and it'll still look realistic.
So in the past, you could get that effect, but it would have to be sort of pre-calculated, I guess? Is that how it worked?
Yeah, exactly. And even if you want to, like if you're saying you're in a dungeon and
Kann mir jemand erklären, was der Unterschied ist zwischen dem, was er uns gerade erklärt, und Raytracing? Ist das nicht genau, was Raytracing machen soll? Das dynamische Berechnen?
With limited light sources, and the old-fashioned gag of having a flashlight beam isn't what you need anymore. You can actually use light in really interesting ways.
Yeah, and even beyond games, Unreal Engine has been applied to so many amazing aspects of entertainment. Of course, I think everyone knows The Mandalorian, how that used Unreal Engine, and there's the Weather Channel. I mean, there's so many other uses of UE.
Ja, Mandalorian wurde von der Unreal Engine geschrieben, deswegen ist es so spannend.
Kind of tie into those experiences, and I think I assume you see this convergence of kind of everything coming together through an engine like Unreal in terms of just realizing entertainment. How will UE5 sort of be used in those fields, or how will that change the pipeline for non-game experiences too?
So one of the great things about Nanite is that it finally allows content creators of all kinds to be able to use movie quality assets. So there really won't be a difference. If you're building an environment for a film versus a video game, or you're making an IP that's transmedia, you can build things the same way now. And that was honestly, we had so much exposure to film customers over the last few years using our engine that we really wanted to remove the barrier for them and for all game makers. Right now, you just you pick a high resolution asset you want, you load it in, you don't have to think about making levels of detail or normal maps or any of the usual stuff that goes with making game content. It's a very freeing experience for anybody trying to tell a story or to make an experience.
That's amazing. So, in the eyes of a consumer, like you'll see an asset that's in, a movie, and that they literally can drag that over to the game now. Whereas I guess in the past they would have to sort of reduce down the polygons and kind of scale it down for a game engine.
Yeah, in fact, actually, Quixel, that's also part of Epic. Their assets. No,
Participants, please don't. We need you.
There is a movie quality version that would be used in movies. I guess they were involved a lot in the Jungle Book movie a few years ago, and many movies today use Quixel assets. And they also have versions of them assets that are suitable for games. Now, you don't have to have that distinction. Nanite will just take the movie asset and do the right things with it.
One of the things I know when you guys moved to UE4, a lot of people, were worried about, it's breaking some of the pipeline of things that people had done previously. And it sounds like with this engine, you're saying it's going to be kind of a pretty seamless transition to UE5, right? That's important for you, sort of have the forwards compatibility?
Yeah, absolutely. We want to support developers bringing their games from UE4 to UE5.
Ich habe gerade gar nicht so viel Spannenderes im Angebot.
Fortnite. So,
Hickory, ich spiele gerade sehr viele alte Spiele für ein potenzielles Video bei Hooked. aus
UE4,
einer Reihe,
and then next year we will
was
be
eine,
bringing Fortnite
eine
to
wahnsinnig dumme
UE5
Idee
as
ist für
well.
ein Video, um
So
es
we'll be
direkt mal von
testing
Anfang
out
an
that
zu Also
experience
wirklich
of
eine
bringing a
der
game along
dümmeren
from
Ideen, die ich je hatte.
UE4 to UE5 and making sure the transition is
Und deswegen spiele ich gerade recht viele alte Sachen
manageable.
für dieses sehr, sehr dumme Video, was ich da plane.
Yeah, you know, Fortnite obviously is such a phenomenon,
ansonsten,
as you mentioned earlier, Tim, with, you know, battle royales. But also I feel like, you know, Fortnite has turned into, you know, really kind of this metaverse-like platform where we're seeing kind of different experiences powered by Unreal. And I was wondering if you guys could talk a bit about
Guckt euch
that.
mal dieses
because I looked
Konzert
into
in
the Travis
Fortnite
Scott
an.
concert, and I see that as an amazing experience,
das
but
war
it sort of was
fucking
an
awesome.
interactive music video in a
Gibt's
way.
auf
And then,
YouTube
you know,
komplett
you watch
anzugucken.
the YouTube video for his new song. It's actually, you know, just what was in Unreal. How do you see all the sort of worlds of entertainment combining, Tim, longer term? And obviously, based on what Kim was saying, it's now going to be even easier, I guess, for the assets to move. But from an experience standpoint, do you see kind of a blending of games with more traditional entertainment powered by Unreal?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, all of these worlds are
powered by
colliding
Unreal.
right now in real time. We're seeing the sort of film production that's being done on The Mandalorian and other projects all around Hollywood, film and television.
Hey,
Being able to move
das ist
directly
ja
to
hier,
games
also
in the
man,
future.
das ist ja alles wirklich
right
genauso
now
spannend
we've
wie
got
bei
Marvel
dem
content
Mandalorian
into
zu
Fortnite and
gucken.
Star Wars content into Fortnite, and each of those processes started with rebuilding their
Ey Leute, ich würde mir wünschen, die Leute würden genauso viel reden wie in Mandalorian, nämlich gar nicht.
But in the future,
Ey.
this is going to be an exercise to build every asset exactly once and then deploy it everywhere. And the future isn't just going to be about Unreal Engine serving a bunch of separate markets. We're helping architects visualize their creations now, and that's awesome.
Hallo Tomätchen.
We're helping film and television makers
Good honk picture.
virtually produce their work in real time, you know, with actors in front of and actresses in front of cameras and big LED screens instead of green screens, and it's making the production process much more efficient, real time, and higher quality. But you know, in the future, all of these assets are going to come together, and Epic's not going to just play a role in supplying creation software to all of these different industries. We're going to help everybody reach consumers with real-time 3D content. You know, when General Motors released their Corvette car configurator for the 2020 Corvette, it was powered by Unreal. It was running in the cloud, and you could go there and you could configure your car right then. But you know, that was disconnected from the rest of the gaming world. The next step with all of those types of experiences is to enable them to author that content for all of their internal work, whether you're designing a home for a customer as an architect, or you're designing a car, or you're building a television series. We
I need you as entertainment.
The next generation of these experiences to be bringing all of those assets directly to gamers in a fun way, deploying them into Fortnite and every other Unreal Engine licensee's games, being able to reach a vast consumer audience that way, right? It's like it's like the transition that the world went through in the early days of the internet and then social media. You know, for a while it was just companies talking to customers one-on-one, and now you have the ability to reach customers directly through your Facebook page or your Twitter page, you know, your Twitter account, or anything like that. But the next generation of these experiences is not just text and video. It's real-time 3D. It's a social experience where players together players are together with all of their friends and experiencing all of these companies' content together in real time. And it's a world that's not going to be powered by advertisements that pop up and annoy you. It's a world that's going to be powered by awesome content that these companies make available to power your entertainment experiences. And we're blazing this path to some extent with Fortnite, but there will be a lot of other games heading in this direction, a lot of them powered by Unreal Engine. And I think this is the next step in the entire digital content industry, not just gaming, but the whole thing.
I couldn't agree more. It's so exciting to feel that games are going to be at the center of this. But as you said, I think, you know, this, like those shared experiences that you're having in Fortnite, even, you know, a concert experience, there's no gunplay or combat involved. It's just a shared kind of experience, which is so compelling. And as you said, powered by Unreal. And then when you think of, as you said, those movie assets and all the other assets coming together in a world, it's really exciting. One thing I wanted to ask you about was the content creation path, because we've seen a lot, especially in Fortnite, with you know, creative mode and a lot of you know, fans of Fortnite starting to build levels, and obviously UE, you guys I think have, you know, really focused on kind of making it accessible, lowering the royalty rates for kind of, upstart developers. Can you maybe talk a bit about sort of the, your vision of kind of how easy it is to, build something in Unreal? I mean, are we going to get to a level where it is sort of like a Photoshop where you can kind of just jump in and build a game, or what is that barrier to entry going to go down in the next generation?
Epic is working to address the whole range of content development scenarios, all the way from your AAA game developer or your feature film in Hollywood being produced using world-class photoreal assets, all the way down to indie game experiences and content creation for the 100 million people who want to build stuff but aren't professional modelers and haven't had training in that. And the continuum of experiences spans Fortnite Creative, which has been used by over 100 million people, all the way up to Unreal Engine 4 and the Unreal Editor, which is an insanely powerful piece of software that's actually pretty complicated to learn. But over time, these tools and technologies will be coming together in some exciting ways, and we're not ready to talk about all of it yet. But Epic is really thinking about and putting a lot of effort into addressing the entire continuum of content development and content deployment scenarios. We feel that the state of the world is a little bit broken right now. If you look at the app stores on smartphones, you have 250,000 games, each competing for the top 10 charts, where virtually all of the sales occur. And you have a small number of winners and a whole lot of
Leute,
losers in that way.
pass auf.
It's not a fair
Wir sind ja kein
situation for game
Marketing-Arm
developers,
hier
and you have a lot of
von
amazing games
Epic
that
oder
just
Sony,
get
wer immer das
lost
gemacht
because
hat.
they haven't been
Deswegen würde ich sagen,
discovered.
Ben was an dieser Stelle. Es ist
more and more we
frankly
want to enable,
extrem
content
langweilig,
creators
um
to
es mal in
reach
den Worten
audiences
von
within
Frank zu
existing
sagen. Ich mach
games.
den mal hier. Tim, sei mal bitte leise und spende dein Geld ein bisschen an irgendwas oder bezahl mehr Steuern. Das war der große Reveal. Warte mal, kann ich mich größer machen, ohne hier alles kaputt zu machen? Ja, geht schon so ein bisschen, aber nicht so richtig. Wir bleiben mal. Oh, deswegen. Oh, ist das so? So. Zack. Guten Tag. Arschlangweilig. Gute Tech-Demo, I guess. Aber what do I care? Um 18 Uhr gibt es noch einen Trailer-Release. Wovon meinst du, Roggenbrot? In welchem Kontext? Wenn das stimmt, dann kann ich noch 20 Minuten hier Pause machen und dann komme ich gleich wieder. Aber wenn das jetzt irgendwie für Call of Duty ist oder so, dann brauche ich das nicht. Warte.
Diese Raumdeko sieht auch irgendwie so aus, wäre gerade in sein Animal Crossing Haus eingezogen.
Ich weiß nicht, ob ihr es gehört habt. Lucy, weil diese Raumdeko sieht aus, als ob er gerade in seinen Animal Crossing Raum eingezogen wäre. Ja. Hatte ich so gelesen. Ja, gut. Also, dann würde ich da jetzt aufhören und dann guckt ihr den Trailer so. Das war arschlangweilig. Vielen Dank fürs Zugucken trotzdem. Ich glaube, wir sind morgen auch da für Sony, wo wir dann Ghost of Tsushima sehen. Und Ghost of Tsushima sieht ja sehr cool aus. Und zumindest ist es ja 2 Jahre her, das letzte Gameplay. Kommt dann ja schon sehr bald raus. Da freue ich mich drauf, das zu gucken. Wir können eure Unterstützung sehr gebrauchen auf patreon.com/hooked oder steadyhq.de/hooked. Ihr könnt auf unserem YouTube-Kanal gucken. Da gibt es ganz, ganz viele tolle Videos und Podcasts jede Woche. Und ich empfehle euch einen Blick auf unseren Twitter-Account. Da lest ihr immer davon, wenn wir einen neuen Stream starten oder so. Das war langweilig. Ich hoffe, wir sehen uns trotzdem beim nächsten Mal wieder. Ich wünsche euch noch einen wunderschönen guten Tag. Auf Wiedersehen. Und ich muss hier noch kurz schreiben, bis zum nächsten Mal. Warte, Moment. Bis zum nächsten Mal. Ausrufezeichen. So. Und dann sehen wir uns beim nächsten Mal wieder. Auf Wiedersehen. Hab euch lieb. Tschüssi. Tschüss, Lucy. Tschüss. 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 Gut. Tschüssi.